First up, an officer of the National Investigating Agency, Tanzil Ahmed, was shot dead by unidentified assailants in Bijnor in Uttar Pradesh. Now, the post-mortem report has revealed that 24 bullets were pumped into his body, of which 12 were taken out, while 9 ripped through his body. Now, the shooting incident took place when the officer, along with his family, were returning from a wedding ceremony in Bijnor in their Wagoner car. The wife of the officer has also been seriously injured in the attack, and she is currently admitted in the Fortis Hospital in Noida. Sources have told India Today that Tanzil was consulted during the Pathankot terror attacks as he was very familiar with Urdu. Sources have also said that he was associated with several important cases involving the Indian Mujahideen. The NIA has now called it a serious incident and has also rushed in a team led by Deputy Inspector General rank officer from Lucknow. The Uttar Pradesh Police, the Special Task Force and the Anti-Terrorism Squad are presently investigating this incident. Tanzil Ahmed was a 1991 batch sub-inspector of the BSF. He rose to become the assistant commandant in the Border Security Force when he joined the NIA as Deputy Superintendent of the Police on deputation just 6 years ago.
When he was coming out of that function, a planned attack took place on him and he was fired upon, and in the firing he was killed. Right now the investigation is on there. The UP Police, UP STF, UP ATS, the teams of NIA, the DIG of NIA from Lucknow and his team, a team from Delhi, all of them are there on the spot and they are doing.
बताया कि दो बाइक के ऊपर दो सवार थे जिनका मुंह हेलमेट से ढका हुआ था और उन्होंने पापा के ऊपर अटैक किए क्योंकि खिड़की थोड़ी सी मतलब विंडो थोड़ी खुली हुई थी, उसमें से अटैक किए और उसके बाद जब गाड़ी टर्न हो गई तो वो उतर के एक बंदा उनमें से उतर के पास आके उसने उनको
India Today's Kamaljit Sandhu now joins us for more on this. Kamaljit, this indeed is a very tragic incident that has come to it, how the NIA inspector was brutally killed. Now, prima facie, what seems to have been the reason behind this brutal murder? Okay, Kamaljit Sandhu, we'll just try and get in touch with her in a short bit, but she did, send us this report. Let's just take a look at that once before we go back to her and speak to her for the very latest updates on this story.
Upset over the killing of one of its good officers, Tanzil, who had been associated with NIA for the past 6 years. The NIA wants to get to the bottom of this entire case. Now, the ATS, the STF, the UP police are all investigating the case. The NIA has also sent its team, not just from Lucknow, but also from Delhi, to lead into the investigations. Now, many are saying what could be the motive of the case. Remember, he is an NIA officer dealing with some of the sensitive cases, some cases to deal with ISIS, the Indian Mujahideen, as well as he was the licensing officer as far as Pathankot probe was also concerned. Now remember, all this is going to be extremely crucial. Could he have been targeted because of professional reasons? Now remember, he was shot at more than 20 times. So this is obviously a special planned targeted killing. Many also believe that a recce was done, that he was working in Delhi, but an information was leaked that he was coming for the wedding from Delhi, and that is why he came under attack. But the investigation is at this point of time still on. There are many loose ends in the story, but remember, what the case and how it turns around to be is going to be an important focus of. With camera person Siddharth, this is Kamaljit Sandhu in Delhi for India Today.
In fact, let's just take a look at the sequence of events that led to this brutal murder of the NIA officer. It was on Sunday night at about 12:45 early in the morning when Tanzil Ahmed was returning with his wife and 2 children after attending a wedding ceremony. That's when these 2 men on a bike overtook his Wagoner near Sehespur, where they stopped the car and they started firing indiscriminately at the officer. The NIA officer succumbed after receiving 20 bullets that were pumped into his body. His wife, in fact, was also seriously injured in the attack, and she is now currently admitted in a hospital. Okay, we'll continue to get in more updates and information on this story in just a bit. But moving on, Pakistan, it seems, is up to its old tricks once again. A day after its return from India, the Pakistan Joint Investigating Team probing the Pathankot terror attack has reportedly claimed that Indian authorities have failed to provide evidence to prove that Pakistan-based terrorists were involved in that terror attack. Now, this report also claims that the Pakistani team was only informed about the negligence of the Border Security Force and the Indian forces. The JIT members visited the Pathankot airbase on March 29, where NIA officials briefed them and showed them the route from where the attackers stormed the airbase. Besides that, they were also handed over DNA reports of dead terrorists. There were reports of shells bearing Pakistan markings and call details that conclusively established that terrorists did speak to their Pakistani handlers.
Two faces are apparent. While in India, before they left, they said very clinching evidence has been given by the Indian side, which established beyond an iota of doubt that Pakistan and JS were involved. So this is a statement they made in India. The moment they went back, crossed the border onto the other side, it's very interesting. Under pressure from the army and the ISI, they've changed the colors and said that not enough evidence has been given.